Hi, I'm Roxy Rose, and I'm doing another video clip. I love to do them. They've been very therapeutic for me. They get me out of my normal, everyday, mundane life, and they get me behind the camera, and I have a lot of fun with them. So I hope that you have enjoyed them, and maybe they've been a slight bit informative. Maybe they've been a little comforting to some people. And most of all, I hope they've been entertaining. I do try to keep it a little lively. Today won't be too difficult. We're talking about transitioning late in life. As for me, I started at 47. I'm 49 now. So it won't be too hard to keep this entertaining because today we're going to be talking about my favorite subjects. Boobs. Well, in my case, implants. So we're going to talk about those. There's a couple issues that I want to talk about. One is cost. The other is technique. Each surgeon seems to have their own technique that they like to do. And then the other is acceptance. Society and women and men kind of all have their own opinion of their own opinions on implants. As for me, even if I was born genetically female, I would have been standing in line waiting for implants because I'm sure that I just wouldn't have been satisfied with my natural boobs unless, of course, I had double Ds. Well, I'm a D, but I think I probably would prefer to be a double D. I know, you always want more than you got, I know. I was in the office of the plastic surgeon before my surgery, and they let me try on several different bras with the implants in there, ranging from 300 to 600. And I chose the 600. There was no doubt about it, but the nurse there kind of talked me out of the 600 and said the 500 is usually what people get. But you see, I'm 5'10" and I have a pretty big frame. I have broad shoulders, so I wanted something to counterbalance everything out. But I just don't see what everybody else sees. I realize they're big. Some people say they're huge. I just see big, and I like bigger. But anyways, that's just crazy Roxy. So yeah, I wanted the 600 cc's, but these are 500 cc's. But I had a fair amount of breast tissue to begin with. So if you meet another trans woman that has 500 cc's, they might not look as big on her than or on you as they do on me, because like I said, I have breast tissue that was there before, and I seem to always be lactating, which causes a little volume there as well. Um, well, anyways, it's really a personal decision if you decide to get implants, when you decide to get them, because there's some controversy over when a trans woman should get them. Some of us want to, like myself, want to run out and get them right away. Well, that's me. Like I said, that's crazy Roxy. But there's some people that suggest you should wait 5 or 6 years until your breasts fully develop, and for a trans woman, that just seems like it's painstakingly a long time to wait 5 or 6 years. But that way, when they put the implants in, that they're putting them in with all your breast tissue that's there already. And if the breast tissue develops afterwards, there could be a displacement of the implant. But like I said, that's kind of up to you and up to the surgeon and so on. So first thing we want to talk about is cost. There is a great big difference in cost, a huge difference. I got prices from anywhere from below 2,000 to 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. It was really common for plastic surgeons to be quoting $10,000 and $12,000. I didn't settle for 3 quotes. I went out and got about 12 quotes. So do that as well. Do your homework. Even if you have to go out of the area, there's such a big price difference that it might warrant, a little vacation. A trip to the city where the prices might be less. In today's economy, plastic surgeons, they say the price have kind of leveled off, but I think it's actually kind of went down, which makes it kind of a great great for us trans women right at the moment. But as I said, I got prices all the way from below 2,000, which was, see, I live in Southern California, so I'm very close to Mexico. The price that was under 2,000 was actually in Tijuana, and it was just under 2,000. But I decided, even though I talked to him on the phone, I decided I'm not going to go that route, you know. I actually ended up going to Beverly Hills. I found a very good surgeon there that had no malpractice lawsuits. I looked him up, and he had a really good reputation, well known in the area. He had been there for a long time. His office, it was a community medical facility, about 2 blocks from Rodeo Drive. So, gosh, I even felt uncomfortable just going down in that neck of the woods. You know, I'm out here in the country. I'm just a little country girl, and to go into Beverly Hills near Rodeo Drive, boy, I was like a fish out of water. But but I went down there. I saw an ad on the internet. They were advertising this plastic surgeon and advertising implants at a really good rate. Now I'm going to tell you, I got quoted $3,000. No extra hidden cost. I was so skeptical. I thought, what are they going to be selling me here? They can't possibly be doing that, let alone in this fancy medical facility in Beverly Hills. But I was really skeptical, did my homework, and sure enough, it was the God's honest truth. I got these for $3,000 out the door, no hidden costs. My first consultation was part of the deal, and then they send you out to get a blood test, make sure you're healthy. But they had a blood testing lab that was a block away. I walked down the street, paid $75 for the blood test, and then a week later I was in their office getting surgery. And it's an outpatient basis. I was in there at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they wheeled me out at 3 o'clock. I was really groggy and a huge amount of pain because, you know, sticking 500cc implants in is quite an ordeal. But I had an ear-to-ear grin. You just could not wipe it off my face. I just could not. Even when I was waking up from the anesthesia, I couldn't think of anything to say. Yeah, I was speechless. I couldn't say a word, but right away when my eyes were barely opening, my mouth just cracked a smile that was ear to ear, and the nurses were just having the biggest laugh over that because I just couldn't stop smiling. Anyways, so do your homework, do your shopping, and come on down to Southern California, and I'll let you in on the secret of who to get your breast implants from, because chances are if you're out in the country somewhere or in a small town, you're not going to get a good price at all. You're going to have to do some traveling. So, and this is perfect travel weather too. It's not too hot in Southern California right now. So come on down and get your implants. We'll make you a great deal. Okay, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so yeah, cost. It varies greatly. Do your shopping and make sure that you get a good surgeon. You can look them up on the internet. There's places where you can look up their reputation and get all that information on them. Anyway, so then the next thing is technique. There's a lot of different techniques for breast implants. Some surgeons, depending on if you're a genetic female or a trans woman, whether or not they put them under the pectoral muscle or on top of the pectoral muscle. And then where they put the incision, depending on your breasts already, they'll choose or they'll advise you what is best. The one that has hardly any scar is the one that's around the areola, but when you're doing an incision there, you do stand the risk of permanent nerve damage. And my God, who wants to be a trans woman with breasts that don't have sensitivity? But I didn't want any scars, so I went ahead and got the incision around the areola, and I had the implants put below my pectoral muscles, so when you flex your pecs, they really move, which is kind of funny. But that way, if you put them underneath the pectoral muscles, that way when somebody, if you have the occasion, which I haven't yet, but I'm looking forward to it someday, if you have the occasion where somebody does actually feel your breasts, they would be feeling the breast tissue that was there before, as well as your pectoral muscles. And so they won't be feeling or seeing the implant. So any ripples in the implant, any bumps or something like that, are kind of concealed by the pectoral muscle that's covering over them. So that's what I chose. And like I said, I chose to get the incision around the areola, and it's about halfway. They go, about 180 degrees around the areola, and it leaves a little scar. But it's been 6 months since I got these implants, and the scar's almost gone. At first, about for the first 3 months, I lost sensitivity in the nipples, and I was a little depressed, and I was just praying that it would come back, and it did. So I'm really thankful for that. And just a little side note, if you get implants, you're going to have to do the massaging on a regular basis to keep scar tissue from building up around the implants themselves. You'll be informed about that regarding your weekly massages. And daily massages at first by your physician. They'll give you a little pamphlet, and you'll have to do that. Let's see, that's about it as far as procedure goes. Oh, they could do incisions by the underarms, and they could do them underneath the fold of your breasts. Well, I don't even have folds. They just kind of stick out there like gunboats, and they probably will for a while until gravity takes place. But that's an option. They could do incisions there. Depends on, your surgeon. But then also, acceptance is a very funny thing. It's really, really funny. Genetic women have this big chip on their shoulder when it comes to implants. I see some women walking around the mall that they may have implants, and I don't really care if they are or not. It doesn't bother me. If they're implants, more power to you. Great. I'm glad you're happy. If they're not implants, then I'm pretty impressed. But either way, it doesn't really matter. But there are some genetic women out there that have this chip on their shoulder, and when they pass by you, they just love to call attention to your implants, and they say it loud enough. They'll say, as they walk by, they look really nasty at you, say, "Oh no, those aren't real. No way in the world, those are real," and they think they're being funny, and they're being really sarcastic. But you know what? In some funny way, they're being very flattering. And I'll tell you how for us trans women, it could be very flattering. One, they certainly wouldn't be saying that if they thought I was a trans woman. So by them saying that, they're saying, "Hey, that's a female, a genetic female." So that's one compliment. And the other compliment is they're looking at me with a slight bit of competition. That's their irritation. They're feeling a little competitive. So that's a little flattering too. Just recently, I was approached by a guy who obviously was impressed, and he said, "Oh my God, are those real?" And I just said, "Well, they jiggle, they tickle, and they squirt milk. Isn't that real enough for you?" So it's funny about people. And then there's women out there, even trans women, unfortunately, because we all should learn to just accept everybody's personal decisions. But there are a lot of people out there that because they choose not to get implants for whatever reason, and it could be just they're afraid to get implants. It could be a financial issue. It could be laziness. But there's a lot of people that choose not to get implants, and more power to them. Whatever you choose is fine. But then for those that choose not to get implants, for them to walk around suggesting that nobody should, and that there are risks to it and nobody should do that to their body, well, I think that's just ludicrous. I mean, it's like, I don't drink, but heck, I love to be around people who are drinking and having a great time. But wouldn't it be just so nasty of me and so stupid for me to walk around criticizing those that do drink alcohol? Or worse yet, wouldn't it be terrible for me to go into a bar preaching the negative aspects of drinking and telling people you could ruin your liver by drinking and all that sort of stuff? Come on, get a life. We don't need to hear it. And if you have an opinion about that sort of thing, keep it to yourself. I mean, don't criticize people. We're all just people trying to get by here. But it's kind of funny about people that way. Getting back to the breast implants, though, I forgot to mention that these are saline solution. Silicone had some problems and got a really bad reputation. They make them better now, and a lot of people don't realize this, but they are still available. You have to sign all these waivers. But you still can get them. They're more expensive than the saline solution. And saline is basically salt water. So if they spring a leak, which they rarely do, but if they do spring a leak, pretty much I just won't have to salt my food for a while. But like I said, they rarely do. Most of the trouble with implants, some people have trouble with scar tissue being built up around them, or sometimes your body will look at them or recognize them as a foreign material, and your body tries to protect itself by creating a pocket around them or a sac around them of very tough, dense, fibrous flesh, and then that just makes them kind of hard. But by massaging them weekly or daily, will counteract that, and then rarely does that happen. There are a lot of women out there getting implants. Trust me. When I got mine, it was like there was a line of us women getting them for the day. So there's plenty of people doing it, and they're all having very successful and uncomplicated lives afterwards. So it's nothing to be afraid of, but it is a personal decision. I hope I covered some issues, maybe answered a few questions, was a slight bit entertaining, and I'll be making some more videos. So maybe even today I'll make some more videos. But watch my other videos, and I hope you have fun with them, because I know I do. And if you like them, or if you have any suggestions, send me a note or a message. I enjoy getting mail. You could send it through YouTube or any website that you've seen this video on. And if you like, you could just send me an email personally. My email address is myroxyrose@gmail.com. That's MYROXYROSE@gmail.com. Love to hear from you, and say hello. And I look forward to seeing you on another video clip. This has been Roxy Rose talking about breast implants, her favorite subject. And we'll see you again. Bye-bye.